Hello, I'm Amber Askey and you're watching my ISI video number 4. Today I will be demonstrating two different strategies. The first strategy that I'll be showing is moving into reading, using multiple strategies to foster comprehension. And for this strategy I will be showing shared reading. And for the second strategy I will be doing advanced organizers, getting a mind in gear for instruction. And for this strategy, I will be showing a comparative graphic organizer that you can implement yourself in the classroom. For my first strategy, I am using moving into reading using multiple strategies to foster comprehension. So for this strategy, I am going to be using shared reading. Also, for this strategy, you can use other types of reading, such as individual, interactive, or guided reading. Any way will work. But today I'm going to be telling you about shared reading for moving into reading. So this strategy is used when reading aloud books, charts, and poems, or any other types of text with the students. So the students and the teacher will be reading this text together. That is why it's called shared reading. So the students will be able to get the opportunity to listen and see the words that are being read. Even if they skip a word that they're unable to pronounce, the teacher is there to guide them by using her sharing stick to introduce new vocabulary or complicated words that the students may typically skip over. For shared reading, since this is done as a whole class, it is best to choose a book that fits the entire class reading level. So you want to choose a book that is not too easy and not too hard for them to get through. For shared reading, it is a close engagement print. So it is good to have one large book in the classroom that the teacher will use and use her pointing stick to point at for each word. And it is also good to have copies for all the students to have while the teacher and the students are reading, just in case that if the students cannot see the print from far away. So this gives opportunities for the students to learn and participate at their level. And it's important for the children to experience with literature. And it helps strengthen language skills for those struggling readers by reading along with the teacher. During shared reading, it can address many skills for the students, such as word boundaries, left to right progression, punctuation, word meaning, the illustrations in the book, the visuals, syntactical clues. They can learn how to read with expression, use the fix-it strategies, and context clues. So there's many different steps. So the steps and tips that I would use is that the teacher should plan ahead what book they are going to be using first and make sure that it's not too easy or not too difficult for all the students. And the teacher should also pick stopping points in the books that she can stick with the sticky note where she knows she's going to stop and talk about for each page. So for my lesson, the teacher and the students will be doing a shared reading with the entire class, and during this reading, the teacher will introduce the text and several questions to the students about what they think might happen within the text. And while the teacher and students are reading the text, the teacher will be tracking each word with a reading stick. So for this shared reading, a step-by-step process could be: first, you ask the students to come sit on the carpet while you are sitting in your reading chair. This is a good method, so it allows all students to be interactive and close together during this group reading. Next, the teacher will provide the students a copy of the book or poem or whatever text that they may be reading, so that they can read aloud all together and follow along closely. Then the teacher will give an introduction of the text. This can be done by showing the students the title page and maybe a few pages inside the book, and ask them what they think the book may be about to start a discussion and get the students involved or hooked within the lesson. Then, while the students and teachers start reading the book, the teacher will track each word for word, while the students are reading with a pointer or reading stick. And the teacher will stop and ask questions randomly where she put her sticky notes to check for student comprehension. This can be done before, during, and at the end of the reading to check for student understanding. And after all of the guided or shared reading is done, it is best to let the students reread to help practice with the exposure to the text and the words within the text, because typically there is a lot of new vocabulary and words that the students may not have known before that they need to still practice within the text. So that is how shared reading will work. Next, I will be demonstrating advanced organizers, getting a mind in gear for instruction. And for advanced organizers, the teacher can use expository organizers or comparative organizers. For today, I am going to be demonstrating comparative organizers as shown in the visual above. In the visual, we have a graphic organizer and visual of a Venn diagram. So for a Venn diagram, the students will compare, after reading, the differences and the similarities between two characters within their reading. So, our learned activity is the teacher will hand out the students a comparative graphic organizer, such as this Venn diagram, and the students will be filling out this graphic organizer by writing the similarities and differences between two characters that were in the text that they had just read. And some steps to go by while implementing this organizer is, first, you should identify the main concepts. So before reading, the teacher should ask the students to listen very closely to the characteristic traits. This will help them whenever they must fill out their own Venn diagram charts after the reading. Next, the teacher should connect to the students' prior knowledge. You can do this by asking the students if they had ever used a graphic Venn diagram before. Then, if they have or not, you can explain what exactly it is and how it looks like. And you can ask them what they should put inside of each circle and see if the students may have any questions about the organizer to deepen their understanding. Then, after you've introduced what they should be looking for during the reading and explained that they're going to be using a Venn diagram after, you will finally start beginning the reading. So the students and teachers will be doing their read aloud. And while they are doing their read aloud, the students will be listening very closely to the characteristic traits. And once you're done with the read aloud, the teacher can show an example by using technology, such as a PowerPoint presentation, over the graphic organizer that she had built to share with the students. And since we are doing a Venn diagram, the teacher could show an example of a Venn diagram, and inside of the organizer, she could have visuals for the differences and sentences to represent that character that goes along with the visual. And then in the middle, she'll explain the similarities and have a visual of the similarities between the two characters, such as if they both had brown hair or blue eyes, or if they were very happy people. Next, the teacher will teach the new information, and the teacher will do this by teaching the students how to correctly use the Venn diagram organizer, and she will be explaining to the students on top what they will write, which is the character's name, with the information that is different between the two characters and their bubbles and the similarities in the middle. Just as using the technology, those two connect very well. So the purpose for this activity would be to provide the students with an opportunity to compare the similarities and differences between two characters after reading a text. And that is all for our advanced organizers. And thank Thank you.